So we're going to set the speed for our pool at 1500 RPM. So then we hit save. We'll go down. This is the start time. This is the time of the day you want that pump to come on. So we'll hit select. We'll go over. Normal circumstances dictate that we're going to run this pool for almost 24 hours. So we're going to set it at 8 a.m. Hit save. Go down to the stop time. Hit select. Go over. And we're going to shut it off at 12 a.m. Okay? So that's when it's going to come on. Whoops, sorry. If you hit the wrong button, it'll tell you key error. So it's going to come on at 8 a.m. It's going to shut off at 12:01 a.m. So then we go down. It's still on schedule, operation mode. So we're going to hit back. Now we can also go to speed 6, which is disabled now. If you have pop-ups for your cleaning, in-floor cleaner, you can enable a time during the day for it to come on at a higher RPM. So now you know we're going to hit back. We're going to exit out of our speed mode. We're going to go down to external control, as if you have like a solar controller that you want to incorporate into the pump, where the solar controller will tell the pump that the solar valve has opened and you need to have a higher RPM. So if you hit select, you can see that program 1 is 950 RPM, program 2 is 1500 RPM, and so forth. And you got 3 programs that you can choose from in order to have that function capability. So right now we're going to go back, external control. Next thing we're going to see is features. The first one in the features is timeout. Timeout is not really necessary, so we don't adjust that. We'll go down to quick clean. Quick clean is right here. This is the button for the quick clean feature. Quick clean feature is used for a pool cleaner that you either have in the suction line of the skimmer or a dedicated cleaning port. So we can configure quick clean to run at a higher RPM for a certain amount of time. So we'll hit enter, or select, and we'll let it run at 2900 for 4 hours. That should be plenty enough time to clean anybody's pool. So we'll hit save. So we're at 2900 RPM for 4 hours. So we're going to go back. We're going to go back under priming. The priming is already enabled. You can adjust the RPMs if you need to, but you can't go higher than 2900, keep in mind, because that's where we set our maximum speed. It's going to prime for 11 minutes total. What we want to do in Florida, because our land is so flat, we don't have uphill grades and things along that line like you may have in the mountainous areas, California, places like that. We're going to set that for a maximum prime of 5 minutes. If during that 5-minute time period there's not enough water sensed in this pump, the pump will shut off, and you will see an alarm red dot next to this exclamation point telling you that there is a priming fault, and it'll say priming fault right up here. So you're going to have to address that situation, whether or not there's not enough water in the pool. The pool has sucked a big gulp of air, and it's shut the pump down. So right now we're going to go back to our 0 RPM screen. If at any time during this you have an issue, you can always hit reset right here. All reset does is bring you back to the 0 RPM screen. Let me show you what I mean by that. So we're in priming. Underneath of that is thermal mode. We're back to settings. Let's go into the date and time. So you can always hit the reset button and it'll bring you back to a 0 RPM screen. It does not erase the program. As far as the time is concerned, the time will stay there for About 20 some days, because there's power built into this all the time, even if the power is off, and it'll keep the time so that you don't have to adjust it all the time. Well, let's turn our pump on and see what happens. So we're going to start priming at 1800 RPM. It's going to prime for five minutes total. This is our watts that we're using right now at 1500 RPM. So you can see it's 271 watts of power, which is less than 3 100-watt light bulbs. We're running speed 5. There's our time. It's all good. Thanks for being with us today.